We need to have a chat. I've been seeing some things that have horrified me. I, like everyone else, have been perusing TikTok, scanning comment sections, even been, answering questions on my live streams that I do every single week on TikTok. And there has been a rise in the amount of comments that I have been seeing that have just made me shake in my boots. And I figured, you know what? It's time that we talk about things that you should never, ever, ever be doing to your skin. And no, girl, I'm not talking, don't use fragrance, avoid scrubs. I'm talking things that will absolutely wreck your skin, potentially lead to long-term, if not permanent skin damage that for some reason lately I've been seeing a lot of hype and buzz about, and people just really have no idea how damaging these things can be to your skin. So I figured now is a better time than ever to sit down and chat about the things that you should absolutely never do to your skin. Some of these things, I will admit, I have done and have spent my entire life regretting it, and I want you to learn from my mistakes so you're not an idiot like yours truly has been. So the first thing is one that I've been starting to see a lot of videos about and a lot of comments and people asking me about in my live streams that just makes me... it makes me really worried for y'all. The first thing that I will never do or recommend that you do is use a tanning bed or deliberately suntan. I've been absolutely shocked by the amount of people, specifically young people, that have gained an interest in using tanning beds. And the fact that tanning beds have not been banned is just absolutely beyond me. I don't understand. But yeah, weirdly enough, I have been seeing a rise in the amount of people starting to talk about and use tanning beds, which is so crazy to me because I really thought that tanning beds were going to die out with Generation Millennial. I thought it was going to become a thing of the past, but nor. Let me tell you why it's an absolutely horrible idea. Do y'all know melanoma? Have you heard of her? Yeah, melanoma is one of the most aggressive forms of cancer. It is extremely difficult to treat. But did you know that using tanning beds before the age of 20 can increase your chances of developing melanoma by 47%? Unbelievable. That is a direct link and should be evidence enough for why tanning beds should be banned. But also, women specifically under 30 are 6 times more likely to develop melanoma from tanning indoors than people who don't. And the most horrifying statistic of all, according to the last study, approximately 7.8 million Americans still do indoor tanning. Oh, and this is according to the American Academy of Dermatology Association. This is not just me spouting shit. And I know particularly within the USA, we have become very desensitized to the whole cancer buzzword because it feels like everything we do has a risk of cancer associated with it. But tanning is different. Like, there's a direct link that is shown and it is so damaging to the skin. But I also want to add on to that deliberate sun tanning. I still see, whenever I go to the beach, so many people sprawled out deliberately tanning, only using tanning oil, maybe if they're being extra responsible, using like an SPF 5 sunscreen, all for a very temporary gain of having like a nice tanned look, when you very easily can get it through over-the-counter products that don't even have a percentage of the risks associated with them as actually tanning. Both are really, really damaging to the skin. They have so many risks associated with them, and if even cancer is something that you're not particularly worried about, let me tell you, if you want to age like a raisin, if you want to look like you've smoked 20 packs of cigarettes a day by the time you turn 30, keep on tanning, girl. Go for it, because it's going to age you so rapidly. And I don't want to be shady because everyone is beautiful in their own way, but as someone who has spent the entirety of their adult life living in Hawaii, nothing is more jarring than seeing young people whom I knew were surfers after 10 years and how much their skin has changed. It is crazy how much tanning can damage your skin, rapidly accelerate aging, all for a very temporary aesthetic gain. I don't understand why it's still so popular. And here's the thing, a lot of people will criticize fake tanners, say that, they're toxic or they have a bunch of sensitizing agents. And while yes, they can be sensitizing and irritating to some people's skin, there is absolutely no comparison in terms of damage from using a fake tanner versus indoor tanning or even outdoor tanning. And as I see more and more young people specifically think that they're not going to be a victim of melanoma and they're not going to age rapidly and they have nothing to worry about, it just, it makes me really worried for what future healthcare is going to look like and the rise in melanoma and skin cancer that we're going to see from people thinking that these health concerns are never going to affect them. The risks of using even a fake tanner are nowhere near all of the lifelong risks and damage that are associated with indoor or outdoor tanning. So please, this is a PSA, public service announcement. Please stop tanning. I promise you are going to regret it. It's not going to be worth it. Another thing that I would not recommend that I similarly have seen really grow in popularity recently, particularly amongst young people, is at-home microneedling. I know it's been really popular to see these microneedling devices blow up on TikTok, how you can get clinical results at home, but I wish you could just even be in my shoes for one day and look at how many comments I see from people who have had the most horrifying long-term damage in their skin from doing at-home microneedling. The reality of microneedling is that you are intentionally wounding your skin in order to speed up the healing process so that hopefully brand new baby skin cells will come to the surface and your face can look refreshed and have a youthful, revitalized appearance. But here's the truth. Everyone has a different thickness of skin. Therefore, the length of the needles and benefits or damage you can see in your skin from using them varies from person to person. And that's why microneedling is something that is usually recommended being done in a clinic or by a dermatologist. And so many of the microneedling products that I see on TikTok Shop that you can get for like $5 are way too long for the average skincare consumer to be using regularly on their face. Consequently, it's very easy to misuse these devices and either use them too frequently, be too rough on our skin, pass over the same area too many times. And by using these devices and wounding your skin, it is very easy for it to be pushed too far and for you to experience long-term damage. I have seen so many comments from you guys talking about how it took a year or 5 years, 10 years to be able to get your skin back to a healthy point after a single at-home microneedling session, which is why it's just better to get it done in a clinic by an esthetician or a dermatologist who has been properly trained, who knows what they're doing, who knows what your skin can handle and the thickness of your skin to get you the best results possible. You don't want to mess around when it comes to any type of wounding in your skin, and it's just better to be safe than sorry. I just don't think it's worth it, and I definitely think it's much better to go in office to get the treatment done than risk it at home. So keep away from those microneedling devices, and if anything, save up for a good session where you can get much better and safer results. The next one might shock you, but I stand by it, and I will always recommend that you never switch your routine to an entire new set of skincare products. Your skin can only handle so much before it's very likely that you experience some type of skin sensitivity or reaction that can lead to a lot of misery, a lot of headaches, and a lot of maintenance trying to get your skin back on track to a healthy state. And one of the easiest ways to do this, and what I've seen with so many people, is when they decide to swap out their current skincare routine that their skin has been properly adjusted to and switch it out for an entire new set of products. Not only is this going to be risky for your skin and make it really difficult for you to identify which product or ingredients could be making your skin have a bad reaction, it's also just not healthy for the skin. Slowly migrate your products over to the new routine over the course of like a few months, and that way you don't have to run the risk of a really bad reaction. Because let me tell you, as someone who has had many skincare reactions, oh my god, you guys, and also has to see so many comments from you guys talking about your skincare horror stories of trying a new product or new routine, a lot of times this skin damage can take months, if not over a year, to get your skin back on track from. The next thing that I will never do to my skin again. I'm sorry, this is a skincare sin that I have committed. I just didn't know this was one of the very first things I did to my skin before I, started learning about it. At-home pore extractions. I know it's super satisfying to watch the reels and the TikToks of all the really cool gunk being pushed out of pores, and it's really tempting to get your own pore extraction tools because they're super cheap, but let me tell you, speaking from personal experience, it is not worth it. Do you see these red marks on my nose? That is permanent damage I have sustained on my skin from one single at-home pore extraction session. And the worst part is, if I want to get this shit fixed, I have to get professional laser treatment done, which costs thousands of dollars, all just because I wanted to do pore extractions once. Permanent damage. Yeah, it's not worth it, people. I know it's really satisfying, but that's the great thing about estheticians is that they can do it for you and you can get those satisfying results. Or even better, if you just use a skincare routine that has salicylic acid or niacinamide, it will help to clear out your pores so you never have to worry about having to get extractions done. That's why I use the Selfless by Hyram salicylic acid serum every single day. It's a great way of ensuring that I never get any built up blockage in my pores. I never have to worry about extractions or get them done in office because every single day I'm making sure that my pores are cleaned out with really good skincare ingredients. But please, for the love of God, do not make the same mistake I did. And if you want to get extractions done, get it done in a clinic, preferably by a dermatologist who knows what they're doing, so you don't get permanent damage like I did. It only takes one time, people. That's all it takes. So don't make the same mistake I did, please. I'm begging you. The next one is more niche, but with the rise of TikTok Shop, I have become a little bit more concerned about it and how many people are recommending them. But please do not buy any chemical peels, concoctions, tools, or materials that are intended to be used by estheticians only. I've seen people promoting these chemical peel solutions that are extremely powerful, very, very intense, that are only meant to be used by estheticians or dermatologists in a clinical setting, and promoting them as a way to just do it at home and save money on a facial. I cannot stress how much damage this can do to your skin, because you need to be trained when it comes to these ultra powerful chemical peel formulations, these solutions that are intended to be used in a clinic only, just how many risks your skin can go through by trying to do them at home and saving a little bit of money. One of the reasons that it does cost so much to get a professional facial done is not because of the peels, the chemicals, the tools that they use. It's because they are there to make sure that your skin is as safe as possible and to respond in the best way and have a thorough understanding of what your skin can tolerate in case anything goes wrong. That's really what you're paying for. It's the healthcare aspect of it. You wouldn't buy some medical tools and call yourself a surgeon, so why would you do that with really intense facials that should only be performed in office? It's just a really bad idea, and I would say just in general, be wary of any products or people who are telling you that you can get the same results, the same experience that you would get in a clinic at home, because the truth is you can't. There's a reason why these things are regulated and why they have so many safety precautions around them, and you do not want to mess with that because you only have one piece of skin, and don't get up. Next up is one that I am willing to bet you have done before, and I have seen the majority of people who are really interested in skincare do, and that is combine active ingredient products. And when I talk about active ingredient products, I'm talking about exfoliants, retinols, face masks, acid peels, any type of high strength product. Mixing those together, one of the most damaging things we can do to our skin is over treating it. And a lot of times this looks like over exfoliation, using too much retinol, and specifically using those types of products at the same time. I have seen so many of you guys comment on my videos saying, oh my God, I had this horrible reaction. And when I ask you why, it's because you've been using 3 different exfoliating products at once. No, it's okay. You know, a lot of us have done it. And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of information and education out there when it comes to what products we should be using together and which ones we shouldn't be. But yeah, when it comes to any type of product that includes a powerful active ingredient, please do not use it at the same time as any other product with another active ingredient. It's just better to be safe and not run the risk of having a bad reaction, causing a breakout, wrecking your moisture barrier. Like, there's just so many risks. And again, when it comes to your skin, the best thing you can do is just to be cautious, be intentional, and don't use too many products at once. That's why I'm always recommending skincare minimalism, where you just focus on the basics and not overload your skincare routine with like 10, 15, 20 products. By not doing that, you're saving yourself a lot of worry, a lot of stress, and potentially a lot of skin reactions. So be careful about the type of products that you're mixing together and read the ingredient list. And then for the final thing that I will never do to your skin, and I will always recommend that you never do, is to skip wearing sunscreen. I know, it's super predictable. It's probably not surprising at all, and you're probably rolling your eyes thinking, oh, everybody talks so much about sunscreen. What's the big deal? I have always said it is better to not have a skincare routine at all than to have a skincare routine without using a sunscreen. A lot of these products you guys are using have ingredients that make your skin more sensitive and reactive to the sun, and by not wearing a sunscreen, you're actually rapidly increasing the rate that your skin is being damaged, which means increasing your premature aging, increasing your hyperpigmentation, and increasing the risk of acne and breakouts. If you're going to be using these anti-aging products, these acne-fighting products, this exfoliant, that retinol, you absolutely have to make sure that you're never skipping wearing sunscreen every single day. maybe I take it a little bit too far, but if I find that I walk out the door and forgot to wear sunscreen, baby, my plans are canceled. Nothing is more important than ensuring that I wear my sunscreen every single day, which is why I always recommend carrying a sunscreen on you if you can. I've always loved and recommended the Beauty of Joseon SPF Sun Stick. That's a great one that makes it really easy to apply as you're out and about on the go, or even carrying a sun cream with you. I recommend the Cynic SPF 50 sunscreen because it's really lightweight, a fast absorbing gel that makes it easy to apply on the go. Whatever your sunscreen looks like, please, please, please do not skip the sunscreen step. I know it seems like a pain, but yeah, every single day I see so many people commenting that they're using all of these active ingredient products and have a 10-step skincare routine, but don't use a sunscreen. And I would rather you not have a skincare routine at all than to do that, because at that point, you're just welcoming the skin damage with open arms, and it is not a good idea. So please, you can take anything away from this video, do not skip wearing sunscreen. It is so, so, so important. And if you want to check out the best sunscreens of 2024, I made a video back in December that you can go and watch. I'll have it linked down below. But yeah, I feel like this needed to be said because I'm getting increasingly worried at the amount of misinformation there is on TikTok and just how many people are actively participating in really high risk activities for their skin without knowing it. And I just want to say this so that at least you can hear a PSA from me, if not from anyone else. Please do not do any of these things. They are never a good idea. But I want to hear from you. Do you have anything that you would add on to this video, or have you committed any of these sins? I want to hear about it, so leave a comment in the comment section down below. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification. Whew, I got winded. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you can see my videos every single week, and I will see you guys in the next one.